Okay, so hello and welcome. My name is Katie Tremulis. I am a notary in the state of Florida, and I'm also the creator of Roadmap to Ron, which is a comprehensive course from A to Z on how to become a remote online notary, both to begin and scale it. So the thing that I want to go over today is construction. So construction as an industry is something that is not talked about by a lot of different people, and so I'm here to talk about it. Construction in general is state by state. So I'm going to talk about Florida specifically because it is where I'm from, and it's a little bit easier because I know the documents. I do know that there are notarizations that are needed for other types of industries within different states. So it is up to you as the notary to try and do that research. You can always go ahead and talk to different people within construction to find out the types of documents that are typically needed. So in general, the construction industry, because nobody ever talks about it as a notary, that this is an industry that people can get into, is not saturated. Anytime that I go to any networking events, I'm pretty much the only notary. I've never run into another notary when I'm marketing, with the exception of real estate events. So I think that this is something that if you are looking for a non-saturated, non-competitive market, I would jump right into this. Those are the pros. Some of the cons is that because the market is not saturated, it then goes to the fact that we have to educate the clients as far as how helpful and how useful remote online notarization is. For construction, another one of the cons slash it is what it is that because the documents are so simple, it kind of depends on the price point of what you are going to charge your clients. So usually I can see like 1 to 2 page documents with one seal, usually one signer, sometimes two. So that is something that you want to think about. It is not going to be as lucrative as some of the other industries like estate planning or loan signing, but we are trying to round out our business. So this is a good industry to get into. It can lead to other opportunities of different types of notarizations that are needed that you might not have heard of previously that can have higher price points. In general, though, it's going to be a little bit lower price points, but one of the things that is nice is that you can get volume. So if you are in with a solar company that has, 11 different signings a day, depending on your price point, that could be something that would be very worth it to you to start marketing your services to construction groups. So I go into notice of commencements and how to fill them out because that's the most typical document that I see within the state of Florida within my course. So that is a little bit of a incentive to buy the course, go into it, watch that replay of the webinar. I do group calls for the Roadmap to Ron students every once in a while, and that was a live replay. So feel free to go in. It's going to be under live replays for construction. I also have a PDF on how everything works for notice of commencements, some examples that are blank, so that way you can go ahead and use them as mock sessions. And then I go over in person through the live webinar replay on how to fill out a notice of commencement as the notary. Typically it's just the matter of going to the different events that have a bunch of people in construction for these types of notarizations and getting in front of the right people. One of the other cons within the construction groups is that you are going to have a lot of admin pushback. So an objection handling like that would be, what do you do when you are dealing with a homeowner that's out of state? So obviously within Ron, I think it's a lot easier if you're a Ron to market than if you're an in-person notary. It also makes a lot more financial sense for us because we don't have the time and travel that we have to put in to go out to some of these homeowners or to even go into the office. So that way the general contractor can, notarize a bunch of sign a bunch of documents in front of you. So I think that remote online notarization as far as construction is very much a blue ocean industry for us. I think that it just hasn't been talked about a lot because in general, the lower price point signings don't make sense for like the signing services or, sometimes any of the other course creators to talk about. But because we don't have the overhead of the time and travel, and we can basically, hop on a quick call with someone that is in Croatia or is in a different country or is, down the road, it makes a lot more sense for us to advertise to these people because we do not have to drive to them. So yeah, that is basically the examples. To get in front of them, I would just, same thing, print out the $40 Canva cards, go door to door. I know you're going to deal with the objections. You just kind of have to go over objection handling. I have that within my course. So the objection handling of like the admins of what you should do when you step into the office, that's all gone over more in depth within the course with examples and scripts, things you can print out, things that you can bring into the office. My favorite bribe basically to bring into the offices that is an evergreen gift. And so, yeah, I think that is the way to get into the industry, and like the reasoning why is to diversify your income, because if there is one constant, there's always usually going to be construction, and especially after natural disasters. Florida, unfortunately, always has hurricanes. My area has always, not always, but it is typically hit pretty hard throughout the years. So that is something that you can always start to market to, look into, start doing immersive marketing, start making SEO based on things that construction people would care about, start making social media posts that are targeted towards people within the different industries like solar, roofing, construction, things like that. So yeah, that's where I'm going to leave it. Make sure to go into my Facebook because we talk about that and more. And that is where you're going to be able to start collaborating with some of the other notaries within our community. And so that is it. Thank you so much.